am here on behalf of the Rhode Island Hospitality Association. It's an industry that employs roughly 63,000 people. Some of those individuals are working on a full-time basis in that career. Some are working part-time, and some are working as they put themselves through college or perhaps while they're in high school. At a time when Rhode Island is facing a high unemployment rate, this industry has been a strong contributor to trying to help people stay employed. At the same time, this industry is a strong supporter in the revenue of the state. For the 6th consecutive year, we've seen a growth in the meals and beverage tax collections. Millions of dollars are paid by the hospitality industry as revenue to the state. I only say that because this industry works very, very hard to try to make the economy of Rhode Island grow. The association is here to oppose the increase in minimum wage as it's presented by the sponsor. In January of 2013, the minimum wage was raised to $7.75. In January of 2014, we saw an increase to $8 an hour. And just a month ago, we saw an increase to $9 an hour. If my math is correct, in that short 24-month period, the minimum wage has increased 16%, much higher than what we've seen with the CPI over that same period of time. And we've done that, we believe, without understanding what economic impact has resulted with the state. This bill would take us, we believe, to number 2 in the country. Right now, we are tied number 6. First is the District of Columbia. Second, the state of Washington. Third is Oregon. Connecticut and Vermont are tied for 4th. And then comes Rhode Island, Mass, and California. I tried to lay out just those few statistics to try to set a landscape of why we're so concerned about what would happen if we raise the minimum wage again, because we really don't know. And the second question then we have to ask ourselves is, who makes minimum wage and for how long? When we looked at the National Restaurant Association numbers, and they got their numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, nationally, 5% of all restaurant employees earn federal minimum wage, which is obviously lower than the Rhode Island minimum wage. What we found even more interesting is that 77% of those individuals making federal minimum wage work part-time. 71% are under the age of 25 years. And 47% are teenagers. That's a very high percentage of individuals who make up that group that are making minimum wage. 75% of restaurant owners themselves earned minimum wage when they started in this industry. This industry is known for training people and helping them move up the ladder and gain more skills and move into different positions, and many of them end up owning restaurants themselves. Because we don't have good Rhode Island data, the Hospitality Association did their own survey of members. And granted, it's not statistically
scientific.
Perfect. We only got 60 responses, but I thought 60 responses is still worth at least letting the committee know what we're hearing from the members. 72% of our folks that responded said that if they hire somebody at minimum wage, it's only for 6 months or less. It really is for them a training wage until that person can move into the next position. 26% of the respondents said that they actually have someone on minimum wage for a year or plus. The rest obviously was in between. So most of the people that were on minimum wage from those we heard from were from 6 months or less. Pass along some of the other comments that we heard on our survey. It's only a training wage. It's strictly a training wage. Once they're fully trained, the wage goes up. We got the comment Our starting wage has been about $2 higher than minimum wage to attract better qualified workers. Raising the minimum wage will not allow us to make this offer. And finally, I guess I'll leave it with this thought. I think many of you had the opportunity to talk to Dale Venturini, who's the CEO, and she loves to talk about the training programs that they have. This organization is asked repeatedly to help find jobs for young people, especially during the summer months, so they have something constructive to do, and at the same time they're learning life skills. The Hospitality Association also runs a program for adult learners, those with extremely limited skills in the workplace. Increasing the minimum wage is going to make it increasingly more difficult to be able to provide programs for these populations. And I say that with all sincerity, and it really should be considered in the whole debate over the minimum wage increase. I would be happy to answer any questions you have. The Hospitality Association offers itself up to, if this committee decides to do more research on what could possibly happen to the economy if the minimum wage should rise, we would be happy to help provide backup for you.
Thank you.